Welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly space robot a diet of pure nostalgia. I'm Clay, and this is Retrobot, and tonight we're putting on our cozy, comfy sweaters, and... okay, we're putting on Monica's cozy, comfy sweaters. I don't like sweaters. I'm sorry. I don't like I wear a fleece. I wear fleecies. I like fleece. Wait, I usually wear. This is very fallish. Look, it's orange and brown and old. I mean, what says fall more than orange, brown, and old? I don't know. But anyway, so we're dressed in Monica's cozy, comfy sweaters and enjoying pumpkin spice lattes and celebrating the fall of Cybertron. Oh, it's Fall of Cybertron toys. Oh my gosh, it's Fall of Cybertron. Look, there's a video game. It was called Fall of Cybertron. There were actually two video games. One was called Fall of Cybertron, and one was called the fight for the war for Cybertron. And then, you know, they're both cool games, and we're just kind of treating both games as one topic. They were from High Moon Studios. They were great, but I will digress just for a moment because we've got showing and telling to do. So, first in our show and tell, we have got brand new Monster High. Look, there's Ghoulia. We got Ghoulia, and she's got a brain backpack. That's cool. That's cool. And then we've got Draculara. And she is thick. She got a little bit of badonkadonk. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of junk in the trunk. You know what I mean? She's thick. With two C's. I don't know what the two C's are for, but that she is. So yeah, these are brand new because Monster High just like rebooted. And you know, once again, they are maintaining their level of detail in all of the fashion and accessories and everything. And I actually really like that they've got different body types now. You know, they are no longer just differently colored Barbies. Yeah, because I mean, the bodies always kind of looked like that. Yeah, they were always, you know, that unrealistically tall and skinny and, you know, Barbie doll look. I mean, they were gorgeous dolls, don't get me wrong, but I like that now we're getting some variety in body types because, I mean, if I were a girl and I guess, you know, I don't have to be a girl to like Monster High. It helps. It would help, but if I were a youngster that was interested in Monster High, and maybe I was a little bit thick in the hips, which I'm a little bit thick in the midsection. It would be nice to be able to see myself reflected, see my body style reflected in the toys, and so I think that's pretty cool. You know, I kind of miss like Ghoulia here. She seems to have just blue hair, and I want to say that the older Ghoulia had like blues and greens. Yeah, you know, like more, like there were more colors in the hair, and I miss that. And also the faces, like I don't know, you know, like the faces don't pop as much as I remember the old ones popping. They're a little bit more cartoony, I think. But you know, we may address these on a later episode, but we've got them, and they're pretty cool. You know, regardless of what my first impressions are, the goods and the bads, they're still pretty cool. So that's awesome. Another thing that we got, and this is something that has been earworming in my head for like 40 years, and we are finally getting it.
The animal. It's a big, powerful 4x4. But when the going gets tough, it uses its claws to climb over anything that gets in its way. The animal. The animal. If anything stops. The animal. Clawing its way through the top. The animal.
So, we've got an upcoming live stream all about our favorite monster trucks. And we knew when we decided on that as a theme that we had to get our hands on an animal. And so we have an animal, and that's all I'm gonna say for now, because we're gonna this is gonna be part of a theme, and it's gonna be cool. We're gonna roll the animal over stuff and see how well it climbs, and see how well the claws come out, and do that, because I mean, why would we not? So yeah, we got that. I feel like you can tell where my areas of enthusiasm are. It's like, oh, we got some Monster High here. Look, Julia, she's got a very nice vinyl skirt, and oh, the animal, it's got cars. I'm sorry, I know you like Monster. I like Monster High. Like I'm not dissing on Monster High, but I'm just saying that, you know, you can tell where my natural inclination is, and it's definitely more towards the absurd truck that has monster claws that come out of the tires for no explicable reason whatsoever. Like the animal doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, if it were robot claws, then okay, I could understand that. I don't know what that truck is supposed to be, but I digress. We'll save all that for another live stream. We've also got Pittsburgh Toy Show news. Well, it's not really Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh area Toy Show news. So first of all, we've got Toy Hio. Yeah, Toy Hio is happening on October 15th. And that is at the Metroplex Expo Center. I love that name. I keep waiting for their convention center to turn into a giant robot and start fighting a giant purple dinosaur robot. But it has not happened, which is probably good, because all of us inside would die. Like you know, we wouldn't survive the transformation process. Yeah, all those things that you saw in the cartoons where they transform with people inside them and the people are okay. Oh no, those people are jelly. Just so that you know, no surviving. Yeah, you know what? They would be yum, I like jam. This is what would be left if you were inside Metroplex while he transformed. That's the reality. Thank you for that. I'm glad that we had that on hand. But anyway, yeah, that's Toy Hio. That's next week, right? So, October 15th, $5 general admission, and it's always a very good show. I don't know that we're going to hit this one, though. It's going to be kind of a busy weekend, so we are probably not going to go to this one, which in some ways is a good thing, because I need to not spend the money that I would. Like, $5 is cheap. It's what you do once you get there. That then after you're done, it's like, why did I take my bank card? Why did I go over to the table with the Japanese toys? Why? And then, you know, and then you get the bill a month later, and there are tears. But you can wipe those tears with the little plastic parts that you paid lots of money for. So that's that. There's also the Living Dead All-Stars event that is happening in Evans City, October 14th through 16th. And so for those who don't know, Evans City is where Night of the Living Dead was originally filmed. I'm coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming to get you, Barbara. And that's, that Night of the Living Dead. And that was in Evans City, which is not far from Butler, which is not all that far from Pittsburgh. So, you want to see the Living Dead All-Stars, then that is happening. And is there let's see, cast reunions, exhibits, panels. It doesn't say what the price is. There's probably a price. I don't know what it is. So that stuff is happening next weekend. Next weekend's going to be a busy weekend. So, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, then check that stuff out because it will be cool. It will be fun. It will be cool and fun. And so, before we talk about Fall of Cybertron stuff, let's give a toast out to all of you there in the chat, starting with Rob. See, it's my fall llama. Fall llama. There's a llama with a scarf. It's fall. I'm not sure I get that joke. Anyway, a toast to Dawn. A toast to Colleen. A toast to Tie Guy. A toast to Adventure Mode. A toast to Asher and Michael Spicer. A toast to Christopher Remley. A toast to you, Retrobot. I'm going to be careful here. You normally have a bottle. I could see this just going all over Monica's sweater, so. And of course, the biggest, baddest toast for the loveliest, ladiest Monica. So welcome everyone to Fall of Cybertron. I'm a little bit of truth here. There's no pumpkin spice in that. It's hot chocolate. It's delicious. And by the way, I think that we're almost completely out of hot chocolate. What we've got are lots and lots of packets of instant oatmeal. And on more than one occasion, this almost became a cup of instant oatmeal. And that would have been, on one hand, when toasting, I wouldn't have had to worry about spilling it. But on the other hand, that's... Now I kind of want to toast with oatmeal. I don't know. Anyway, so at some point I guess we need to get more hot chocolate. But good stuff. Now that is a good thing. So Monica loves fall. Just to let everybody know, Monica loves fall. She spends all summer just waiting for the air to get a little cooler, a little bit crisper, for the leaves to start changing color, for the ground to start making crunch noises when you walk on it. Fall traditionally for me is more of a sad time. I associate it with going back to school, which I never liked. I associate it with being cold all the time, which I don't like. I associate it with having to wear many layers of clothes, which I don't even like wearing the clothes that I've got on. Why do I want extra layers? That might be too much information. But I'm trying here. I am trying to like fall. And what will help me like fall better is Connie, Nathan, Lyric, and Cadence Villian. Welcome! Welcome to Fall of Cybertron. And also, all of us here are very, very glad that all of you got through all of that horrible weather last week unscathed. At least, yourselves unscathed. But yeah. So, it is good to hear that's all over with and everybody is safe and sound. So seriously, thank you for not being hurt. I guess that's what I'm saying. All right, I'm gonna put that down there and try not to kick it over. So Fall of Cybertron, we have toys. We've got, oh wait, that's a TV screen. Wait here. Oh, there we go. We've got toys. And, underneath these lights, it's actually a little bit warm for a Monica cozy sweater. I'm taking off the cozy sweater. There we go. Taking off the cozy sweater. There we go. All right, so we have toys from both video game Series I, and both video games were awesome. We've got like screen grabs. You can see what these games look like. They were fun. They were cool. They took place on Cybertron. Everything was glowy and everything moved and everything turned into other stuff. It was a brilliant video game, both in gameplay and in the visuals. Really, I think that for me personally and a lot of Transformers fans, these video games captured what we hoped that we would get from the live action movies and never did. This, like, we wanted to see our characters come to life like this, and we didn't get that until those couple of scenes in Bumblebee, and then we're all like, oh my god, somebody knows what we were looking for, thank you, and it only took like what seven movies to get there, so for a lot of us, Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron were a much needed breath of fresh air during a time when nowadays we can take for granted that they are making all sorts of toys that just pander to us. Like they're milking the Gen 1 cow to the point of death. like that cow, you're not even going to be able to make a hamburger out of that cow by the time that they're done. That being said, I still want Monstructor. Hasbro, hey Hasbro, wait here, dial him up. Here, hurry up. Dial him up. Come on. Yes, Hasbro. Hey, yeah, it's Clay. Listen, I was on my live stream. I was kind of talking about how you guys have been doing a lot of Gen 1 stuff, and like maybe kind of doing as more than necessary. But I wanted to let you know we still need Monstructor. Can we get Monstructor? Can what? No, not an instructor. How does that even make sense? Do you not know what we're talking about? Transformers. No. I'm not. No, I've got plenty of power at my house. No, I don't need to call the electric company. Never mind. Okay, that person was obviously. Did you dial the right number? So anyway, so yeah, we now get a lot of Gen 1 stuff, but back in 2010, Generations was a little bit, it wasn't quite as there as it is now. So yeah, now we've got these toys, and these are all Cybertronian representations of characters that we've been adoring for years. Let me go ahead and move some of these out of the way. We got We got a little Starscream there. We got a little Cliff Jumper. We got a little bit of Jazz. We got a little bit of Shockwave. We got some Ultra Magnus and some Megatron, and I got boxes, oh, so many boxes, and just for Monica, because I know that she wants it, we've got a turntable. Look at that. Look at the turntable. Admittedly, it's not as nice as MGo's turntable. His has a light, but, you know. This is, see, it's spinny. So let's take a look. Here we have, let me do, we'll put that there and put that there and that on there, and then just a little, and get closer, there you are. So here we have 2010 Transformer War for Cybertron, not the new War for Cybertron, the video game War for Cybertron Optimus Prime. And there's a couple things that I'd like to point out about this design. For one thing, you notice that he has a distinctly alien-looking vehicle mode. Notice there is no passenger compartment. There are there's like, you can see a little bit of what could be windshield. These turn into the chest windows, but you know, he doesn't have like a big window here. There's no obvious doors, and that's something that you'll see with a lot of the War for Cybertron designs, where they treated these vehicle modes as alternative modes for the robots, not vehicles for a smaller character to ride in. And that's something that is very different from pretty much every other interpretation of Cybertronian vehicle modes that we've ever seen. And I like it. You know, it's because obviously the Transformers, they came from mostly Diaclone. And so, you know, as part of Diaclone, which were originally designed as piloted mecha, not sentient robots, they had passenger compartments and little figures that rode inside. But as Transformers, mostly we never got that. We got that with Headmasters, but we didn't get that with any of the other things, which personally I've always thought was a real loss in play feature. Like I would love to have little dudes that would fit inside, little partners, and I think that that's one of the things that kept Target Masters from being as cool as they could have been, if when they turned into their little robot modes, they could ride inside the vehicles rather than just sticking on the vehicles, usually awkwardly, and being kind of big and sticky outy because their gun modes were kind of lame and didn't really integrate well. But yeah, with the narrative here, there's no passengers, so there's no passenger compartments. You see that Prime is a six-wheeler with really big wheels in the front and smaller wheels in the back, but he's got big knobby tires. He's got cool-looking smokestacks. He's got a gun on the top. I like the red that they put around the outside of the wheels. So, you know, this is a neat-looking alternative mode, and I really do like it, and I like how the sort of plated armor look, but also very smooth. You know, it doesn't look like a bunch of folded up robot parts. It looks intentional. It has a design that flows through. You know, it looks like there's engine back here in the back. It looks like this whole area is intended to be sort of one piece, that, or many faceted layers of armor. Rob says, this is definitely a unique alien design as opposed to 2019 when we got truck with extra greebles to make space truck. Yeah, exactly. With Siege Optimus Prime, I mean, he really just looks. He looks like a truck. He looks like a truck. He's a cool truck. I'm not hating on the truck, but he doesn't look like alien planet truck. He looks like Earth truck that maybe got shipped to an alien planet. He's so yeah. This is absolutely a much more developed concept of what a pre-Earth Optimus Prime would look like, and I for one really like it. I really like it. I think that it works. I think it looks good. It rolls well. Here, let me pull back a little bit. So, it rolls really, really nicely. It feels good in your hands. It's substantial. It doesn't feel light. It doesn't feel cheap. It's just it's a cool toy. I want to hold it. I like to hold it. And so his, let's see, I'm looking in my notes. His knees can flip out in vehicle mode to form a back bumper. Oh, his knees. Well, wait here. I don't think that I have the knees flipped out in vehicle mode to form a back bumper. Wait. Oh, holy. I'm learning something. I am learning something. Okay. Wow. Ha ha. I didn't even know he did that. I have learned something new. Thank you for that little detail. I appreciate that. See, this is why I've got notes from Monica. Like, you can't see them, but they're there. If they're. I'm looking over here. See right now I can read the notes and you can't even tell. It's subtle. It's like movie magic. Okay, it's not very magical. So, all right, so let's take a look at Optimus Prime here. He's I do like Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode, but of course he does transform into a robot because that's his job. And so let's take off the gun. The gun does a cool thing, by the way. Yeah, huh? Little spring-loaded transformy gun action. So wait, here, you take this thing around like that, and then you go like that, and then you just... yeah. So it does that, and then we actually start to do. Oh wait, I'm getting a thing. I'm getting a message from my finger. So let's see. Am I allowed to read this note? Okay. So the Monica's saying that the front looks a bit like the H.R. Geiger design for a space train. And yeah, you know what? I can see that. Wait a minute here. Let me switch that view so yeah, that honestly that looks like a skull with a knife under it. But it is H.R. Geiger, so But yeah, you know what? I can see. But let me see if I can line things up just right so that we do a cool fade here. There. All right. I'm gonna. Oh wait, here I have to use my other hand. Okay. This is gonna be such a cool effect. Oh wait, here. That didn't work. Let me try this again. Okay. Space train. Ooh, space train. Yeah, you know what? I'm seeing it. So, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and turn him into a robot. And I will tell you this. Some of these Fall of Cybertron guys are not easy to transform. They are, they can be just a little bit tricky. Optimus Prime isn't too bad, but you gotta practice. Not a chance. Just not even. Nope. Let's just call a big nope on that. So, all right, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to dislodge the front bumper here. There, like that. And I am going to pick up on this piece right here. It's actually on a double jointed linkage that allows it to pivot forward like this. And then I can go ahead and fold this flap against the top edge of that whole hood section. And that's probably the biggest piece of kibble in this whole design. I know that it's, you know, it's a relatively large piece, but for such a complicated guy, that's really not bad. So we've got that pivoted forward. We're going to separate the legs like that, and then we're going to pull the legs down a little. So here, there's a little clippy action that goes here. So you got to disengage this side flap by pulling it downwards, and we'll disengage this side flap by pulling it downwards. And now we can take the legs and pull them away here. There's a little clip right here on the inside of the leg that clips to the inside of the thigh. Let me show you that. So it's hard to see, but there's just a little hooky type ledge here that hooks onto the inside of the thigh. So when you're transforming it, you've got to get that to lock in. When you're transforming it back to robot mode, you have to disengage it. You can see that this one is still locked in. You see how that overlaps that hollow space? And then we're just going to pull it out. And now we do need to flip the knees around. So that whole back bumper thing flips around like that. And now the legs are going to slide up. You see there was a whole slide thing. And then that can come forward. So you can see that this is also a double jointed bit here. So we want that to slide forward like that. And then that goes like that. So that does that there. There's a lot of that's and that. You're going to take the flaps on the side, take these exhaust pipes and just click them up here. You can see that there's a little nub here, a little tab that's going to slot in when you've got that aligned correctly. So let's do that again. And now, before we put these up in place, we take the wheels on the sides and just flip them around to the back. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, flip that around to the back. And now this can go up here against the side, and that can go up here against the side, and then we fold the feet out. And so we have a pair of good-looking Prime legs. Now, I guess if you wanted to, you could maybe do that. You know, like if you want to give him a little extra kneecap, that's kind of cool. I don't think I like it, but you can do it. I'm gonna put him back down here. I think I like him better like that. You know, it makes his legs just look a little bit more solid, a little bit more husky. So, all right. So now we've got these little side flaps. We're going to take them out. Everything on this toy is on these double jointed linkages. You know, you can see here that these are also on these two jointed linkages. Now the arms are under here, so we're going to take the arms like that and just pull them out like that. And then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull the arm out like this and lift it up like that. And then you can even pull those out of the way, just like that. We've got the front fenders here that can also go back, just out of the way like that. And then we've got the wheels. The wheels of the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. I don't know why I'm doing that. So these just fold down like that. We'll get those out of the way a little bit. And now we can take the arms, and you see how the arms are going to come around like this. and come around like this. And now we can take these the rest of the way here and there. And now here's one of the things that's going to make this guy make a whole lot more sense. So you've got this kibble here. This swings around like this, just like that. So his legs are facing the right direction. The front of his chest is facing the right direction. It's just the kibble that's going to swing around like that. And I guess we can turn him right side up. And then you see how the waist, I know, it's a shocker. It's on a double jointed linkage. So there, that goes like that. And now this can go right in between the wheels and against his back like that. And now, oh my gosh, what's going on here? It's craziness. He's got an upside down chest. I mean, that doesn't look right. It looks painful. Well, here, let's start by taking these shoulder flaps and these are the fenders. We're going to pivot at the bicep right there. And so we'll pull out the fender and then we'll pivot at the bicep. And that's going to give us enough clearance to be able to take this whole thing and rotate it around like that. And then close the abs and the waist, kind of the cod piece here against the front. And then we've got these little hip panels, these hip things that are going to fold over just like that. And now we can bring the arms down. We can fold the fenders against the shoulder, and you want the shoulders to kind of tuck up tight, but then have the fenders come down. And you see the joint here on mine is just a little bit weak. It keeps wanting to kind of slouch, and you don't want them to slouch. Now what you can also do here is take these bits here, and since, remember, double jointed linkage, so that's going to go up against that and make the back surface of his arm. And what this does is it gives him a really, really unique looking multi-plated shoulder design that personally I really like. I think that's cool. I think it's still, it's very unique and distinctive, but also it kind of fits Optimus Prime. It fits the look of him. Of course, we're going to flip out the fist. And then we're going to rotate the arm so that the fist is facing forward. And then we're going to do all the same stuff on this side. We're going to push this up, close that fender over the shoulder. We're going to take this flap on the double jointed linkage, bring it up against the back of the shoulder. We're going to fold out the fist. Come on, you can do it. Fold out the fist and then rotate the arm forward. And there we have Optimus Prime. And at some point, I think that his head is normally back like that. And just by messing with him, it pretty much went forward. But you want to click it into place. And you can give him his gun. And then we'll put him on the turntable here, the Lazy Susan, and put him into a cool looking Optimus Prime kicking butt robot pose. And there he is, and now things look a little bit dark. Let me try something. I'm gonna turn on the ring light and see if that kind of makes things a little bit better looking. I think it does. I think it does. And so there he is in all his glory, and yeah, he's got a nice robot form. I really like this robot form. I mean, it's interesting, it's complex, it's well articulated, it's sufficiently Cybertronian, while also still very, very Optimus Prime. And to me, I think that's the earmarks of a really good design, that even though this is Optimus Prime in a form unlike any of the forms that we've ever seen him before, he still looks like himself. And that's that's an achievement. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the articulation here. So we've got the head on a ball joint. He can say no, he can say yes. He's got a shoulder that goes up and down and all around. Of course, his shoulders go around. There's actually, there's a lot of movement in here because of the transform. And yeah, he's got all of these extra bits, but because they're all on independent little linkage pieces, they don't really get in the way because you can just keep flexing them and moving them as you need to get him into any position that you want. He's got bicep rotation. He's got a nice tight elbow. He's got wrist rotation, which doesn't work too well when he's holding the gun, but you can see that it does work here. Due to the transformation, he can even do a little bit of a wrist tilt. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could. I guess, he could do this. He could be like, go bye-bye. Go bye-bye. I know, nobody gets that joke. There's, if anybody gets that joke, then we'll, send you a sticker. I don't know. He's got... surprisingly, he does not have waist rotation, and of course that makes sense because the waist goes down, this is all one piece. But he does have a well-articulated set of legs. Mine had some very loosey-goosey hip joints. So I did do a little bit of joint tightening with some glue, but what's important is that Tie Guy says, spinning, that's a neat trick. he can spin. And also, more importantly, well, I don't know if it's more importantly, because Tie Guy quoting episode 1, that's pretty important. But on the same scheme of importance is that Grayscale is here. Welcome, Grayscale. You have come just in time to see Optimus Prime from Fall of Cybertron, the High Moon Studios video game, and his ridiculously complicated transform that I actually like. I did, admittedly, I've been practicing that one for a week. I was not going to go into this live stream without practicing that one because he's not intuitive. But what I like about the transform is that he has a lot of very unique movements that we haven't seen used again and again and again. And I think that that's something that that Hasbro and Tomy Takara try to do with these toy designs is they not only try to give us new designs, but also come up with new solutions. So that each toy, so that over the years, we don't feel like we're just playing with the same toy over and over again. And sometimes they do a better job of that than others. But anyway, moving on. He does have ball joints in the hips and thigh rotation. His leg movement is a little bit inhibited by the cod piece here. Now you can fold these out of the way and get a little bit more motion, but for the most part, you get as much articulation as you really need, and if you really need to have him do the splits, then you can get in here and let him do the splits. So, that's not too bad. He's also got a double jointed knee. So, the legs can, oh wait, let me put this back here. There. So you can have him do a really, really deep knee bend there, and it works very, very well, along with that thicep rotation that also is very effective. And he's got ball joints at the ankles, so he has an ankle tilt back when ankle tilts were not a priority. He does have a flippy-uppy foot, so, you know, his legs actually have very, very substantial articulation, although I'm pulling his body apart here. Let me do that. So yeah, you can get him into all sorts of cool poses, and he looks great. He looks dynamic. Let's go ahead and zoom in and really take a look at some of the detail on this character, because I think that this is one of the nicest Optimus Primes that they've done. You know, it really is a very, very, very good Optimus Prime, and you know, for a character that we get a lot of versions of Optimus Prime, you know, and I think I dislocated his front. There, it wasn't quite sitting front. But wait, before I start talking about how nice Optimus Prime is, Osaka Jack is here! So, a toast to Osaka Jack. Welcome, sir! Welcome. I'm just gushing about Optimus Prime. You know, it's Clay. He's gushing about Optimus Prime. Big deal. It's another nice Optimus Prime. I don't know. Why do I watch this channel? It's just going to be Clay gushing about Optimus Prime. It's not always Clay gushing about Optimus Prime. It's just this time. It's definitely Clay gushing about Optimus Prime. So yeah, there he is. And you can see that the head sculpt is very nice and very dynamic, very cool looking. Actually, let me bring the camera up a little and see if we can get even closer. Yeah, can we get closer? So, yeah, he's got a nice mold. You know, lots of little extra details in there that make him more faceted, a little bit more future-y looking than previous versions of Optimus Prime. He's got some neat hexagon textures here. I love the facets in the windows. I love the way that the arms are designed. You know, even though this one, the shoulder just keeps wanting to drop down. Stop slumping. Stop slouching. You know, once you realize you've slouched Optimus Prime, then it's too late to correct it. People are already waiting to be disappointed. So there, yeah, you can see the dynamic angles on the chest that still give you those Optimus Prime windows, but in a very new and spacey way. I like the colors. He's got a nice red, a nice blue, good silvers, black. I mean, you know, he's just a very, very good looking toy. And if I pan back here, you can see through the legs. The legs are very, very detailed. There's a lot of mold detail in the midsection. You know, you can see his abs. He's got abs. Look at those. Look at those. Those are steel abs right there. Abs of steel. He watched the video. Heck, he owns the copyright on the video. You know, the legs have kind of this thing going on. I don't even understand what that is, but it looks cool. Really love the feet. The feet are beautifully designed. I mean, they are just cool looking feet. They are very Optimus Prime-y. You know, Prime is at his best when it looks like he's wearing big blue boots. And here he's got big blue boots. So, yeah, all in all, really, really nice toy. And I have to say that it's improved greatly. If you do end up with some loosey-goosey joints, then a little bit of joint tightening goes a long way, because the form of this figure is top notch. It's a beautiful design, a very, very interesting transform. really good articulation, nice weapons, nice detail. I guess it goes without saying, even though I've said it, I really like this Optimus Prime. Oh, he fainted. He felt so flattered. He fainted. That, Optimus Prime, he's sensitive. So yeah, Fall of Cybertron, Optimus Prime. He may be the nicest toy of the entire line, and that's covering both Fall of War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. He doesn't have a trailer. He's just an armored six-wheeler that's badass, and that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So yeah, if you're if you don't have a Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime and you ever see him on the secondary market, and it's not too bad of a price, and you don't mind an advanced transform, because he's not easy, but it's, I feel like it's worth it though. Like, it's a transform that I don't necessarily want to do, like, just pick him up and start transforming him all the time, but it's got so many neat moves to it that I always find it very rewarding. And the results are good, in both modes. You get a really good vehicle mode, you get a really good robot mode. So there's a certain sense of satisfaction after you've gone through the work and you have this to show for it. So yeah, that is Fall of Cybertron, Optimus Prime. One thing that I do kind of wish they would have done, I wish we would have had flippy outy heels. Like the back of the feet could use just a little bit of heel to improve on stability. But other than that, and the only other thing that I will say is that if they revisit this design, I bet that they won't do as good of a job. Now, we could always hope that they do, and I'm wrong. Maybe they'll do like a commander class that actually has a trailer. That would be cool. And maybe they would give him the detail and the love that he needs in order to be done properly. But I'm skeptical that they would. I know that back in, what was it? Titans Returns, they did their own version of Power Master Optimus Prime. Not nearly as good. Like, it was very disappointing for a toy that I loved when I was a kid, even though it had the giant robot noggin and the little arms and it was a brick. The new one was underwhelming. And then they also did Transformers Cybertron Optimus Prime over again. And that was that Power of the Primes? No, that Power of the Primes was the one that had, like, the cab turned into Orion Pax. Which was the one, okay, Rob knows. Rob, which was the one that looked like Cybertron Optimus Prime? Because that one was also a disappointment. That one was a real disappointment. That was the one where the arms were very clearly visible in the back of the truck mode. It was like, what, and it just kind of felt cheap, like not as good. So anyway, yeah. That's Fall of Optimus Prime. All right, so let's take a look at. Oh, I'm getting a finger. Osaka Jack. Jack? Chat. Look at the chat. She's telling me to look at the chat. So Rob says the Cybertron figures was Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime from Siege, where it was a retool of Siege Ultra Magnus or vice versa. Okay. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. So yeah, Siege, this was the other Siege Optimus Prime, which... And honestly, I'm afraid that I'm not that big of a fan of Siege Ultra Magnus either. I mean, it's a cool looking truck mode and a car carrier that can't carry cars, and obvious visible arm syndrome. Yeah, I mean, it's only okay. Yeah, it's only okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and moving onward and looking into. Sorry for a moment, my camera had weird things on the little screen, and I was momentarily distracted. So let's go ahead and take a look at washed out Megatron. Let's turn this down several clicks. He's a very light gray, and with that light of gray, it's kind of hard to see what's going on. So there we go. That is Fall of Cybertron Megatron in his tank configuration. And once again, notice that it doesn't have a separate turret. It does not have a place for people to go. It is just a tank. And you know, it is sufficiently alien looking. It's got, you know, again, they've got that faceted design with panels overlapping panels. It's not bad. It is not bad. Now, is it my favorite? Not really. It's an okay vehicle mode, but you know, you look at that Optimus Prime design and it really looks very Optimus Prime. This looks more like an Insecticon. You know, I mean, like if he just had some bug legs coming out, that's sort of what he would look like. Now he does have a missile here, so I'm wondering if it fights. You know, I wonder if we've got a new volunteer to take the place of Wheelie. Picking a guy completely at random, we have Big Lots Ninja right here. Let's take a look at Big Lots Ninja. This is a ninja guy from Big Lots, and he doesn't have a moving head, and he doesn't have. He does have leg joints, but his hips don't move sideways. But he does have knee joints and a sword, so hey, that's pretty cool. Let's see if this fires. All right, good job, Big Lots Ninja. Oh, that's great. All right, well, I feel good about that. So we'll just put that right back in there. One thing about this vehicle mode is he does have a hover tank mode, so you can take the treads and fold them around to the underside, and then he is a hover tank. And I think that in the video game, that's the only way they showed him. They would show him just kind of floating around when he was transformed. So yeah, he had his hover tank mode. Did Optimus Prime have a hover mode? I don't know that he had a hover mode. So he's mostly a gun with stuff. And I think that that's sort of what keeps me from liking this more, is that he doesn't really look much like anything. And I get it. I mean, he's a Cybertronian tank. What is a Cybertronian tank supposed to look like? You know, there's a lot of room for interpretation there. It's got the big gun. Big gun is important. It's got what appear to be armor panels. That's there, and you've got like flippy-outy tread things. So you know that's cool, but I don't know. I'm sorry to say that this vehicle mode I find a little underwhelming. I don't want to be that way, but I'm just not in love with it. I'll show it closer. You know, you want to see it? You want to be like, hey, Clay, you know, give this toy its due. I want to see that thing close. And, you know, the details are nice. Like, I like the way the treads are molded. They look sufficiently mechanical. I like the way that the armor lines are molded into the different panels. I like the design of the gun. I think that it looks really good. I just don't like the form of this thing. It just, I don't know. I think that for me, a good-looking tank mode. You know, if you're going to do a tank mode and you're going to do something for Megatron, then you want to over-exaggerate the whatever the wheels or the treads, you know, whatever you're going to do, like maybe have treads that look like big clawy things wrapped all around, you know, maybe make them look like over exaggerate the treads. Like this would be way cooler if it were a big gun and the treads were going all the way around, like that tank in Captain America: The First Avenger. Okay, like that. And yes, I know that's a human tank, but still, the idea is there. Osaka Jack says, I think if the gun were removed, it would look like a beeper. Like a beeper that was trying to look futuristic. Wait a minute, we can test that. Because the gun does come off, and oh my gosh, look at that. I'm getting a call from Hasbro. Wait a minute, let's see. Hello, Hasbro? They didn't call. But, yeah, I mean, you take the gun off, and it, you know, especially if we fold the treads in. Here, let's fold the treads in. So there, we've got the treads. And now it's like, yeah, it's sort of like a futuristic communicator. Like, okay, Star-Lord, you guys better swing by and pick me up. Star-Lord? What? Why am I hearing 70s music? So, you know, that's really what we've got here. Yeah, this just, it doesn't look, I have seen much worse Cybertronian what the hells. Okay? This is not even on the list of the worst Cybertronian what the hells. But it is a little bit of a Cybertronian what the hell. You know, it's not the worst offender, but it definitely is not a super compelling thing. It's okay. Oh, whoops. I hit the button. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's very, very angular. You know. Nonetheless, he does turn into a robot. So let's go ahead and turn him into a robot. And let's try and make him a robot that's in focus. So there we go. All right. So yeah, that is his robot mode. And as I showed you before, this does just come off. And I'm okay with that, by the way. I'm not going to ding him because you have to take off the fusion cannon. Like, you know, that's no big deal. I just wish that this looked like something. Okay, I'm going to let it go. All right, I promise. I'm letting it go now. This is me letting it go. So here, we're going to disengage this front end. That's kind of a unique thing, how they have this off to one shoulder here. And then it's going to go on the side there like that. And then we can take these little flaps here and just angle them up out of the way. So there's those. We can take that and lift it. And now what we're going to do, let's see here. You're going to pull at the shoulder here. You see how this shoulder comes out? That is going to come out. Now, not surprisingly, this shoulder is on a double jointed linkage. And then we're going to do the same thing for this shoulder. Here, we're going to kind of pull that. Oh, you know what would help? Here's what I should have done. I should have lifted these flaps first and unfolded the legs. So there we go. We'll unfold the legs there and there. Let me give myself a little bit more room in the camera view. And so you unfold the legs, and then you take these flaps, bring them down, that makes the feet, and then you fold these flaps up like that. And now he has robot legs. Robot legs are great. It's awesome when he has robot legs. So now you can take these shoulders and pull them away from the body, just like that, and then like down like that. And we have, yeah, this just stays like that. Now he's got a little bit of a General Grievous thing happening here. So we can actually take the back here and just kind of put it up against right here. There's a thing. So not surprisingly, another double jointed linkage right here on this piece. And so you're going to have that click over there to go up against his back. And then here's where the General Grievous thing happens. So his hands split into two halves and fold out from the tank treads. And that's cool. Like that's really cool. Let me zoom in on that here. So you have that. You can see that the hand here, right there. That's half a hand, and then right here we have the other half of the hand, and we're just going to pull that out like that. And then the arms, these two treads go together to make the forearm like that, and then this whole thing is going to pivot back like that and twist. And now he has a robot arm. So you can see that robot arm like that. I'm going to show you that again, really close up. So there it is. Let's lift the camera just a little bit since he's got legs now. So we're going to get that right. There's a little nub right at the wrist that if you've got a fingernail, you can pull that out like that. And then we're going to do this one. Come on. Looks like I need a spudger. Here we go. I got a spudger. Spudger! There we go. All right, we spudged. And then we just put these together like that. And there you go. And then this just swings in like that. And now he's got arms. And then, of course, we're going to flip up the head. And we're going to take this panel. This panel, once again, another double jointed linkage. It's going to go right up there. And then that gives us our Megatron robot mode. And then you take the cannon here and put it on his arm. There's a nub right here. And we're just going to put that right there. And click that in. And then try and do this without firing the missile. There we go. And so, you know, come on, work with me, Megatron. Let's try it on this side. Let's just try it on this side. Maybe we'll have a little bit of an easier time. So, boy, that's really, there. Okay, there we go. All right, so there he is. And he is sufficiently Megatron-y looking. Let's go ahead and raise the camera, put him on a lazy Susan, so that Susan is enslaved to Megatron in this case, because he's a tyrant. But there he is. He's got a good robot mode. Yeah, I dig the robot mode. Let me zoom in here and let you get him in all of his glory. He's very evil looking. One thing I do notice about this design is that it's very, very triangular. He's got lots of triangle bits and converging lines, where of course original Gen 1 Megatron is much more boxy. And I think that he still sufficiently looks like Megatron. You know, I'm not going to say that that's a bad thing. It's a little bit of a different design choice from what we're used to seeing with Megatron, especially now that they have really embraced his Gen 1 likeness as his definitive form. Another thing that's nice about this toy is that he is very solid looking all the way around. You know, you look at him from the back, and you know, there's not a whole lot of hollowness here. There's no obvious gaps in the backs of his arms or in the backs of his thighs. He does have some hollow leg syndrome in here due to the transform, but it's certainly not super noticeable. And the fact that he is his joints are very tight makes really makes him feel substantial, and it makes him into kind of a fun figure to play with. So, you know, once you get him out of the tank mode, he does kind of come into his own as a figure. Is this the best Megatron that they've ever done? I don't think so. I think that it's nice, and I do like what they've done, but I don't think that it is the best that's ever happened. It's good, you know, it's good, and certainly if you liked the game, then it's and you like collecting the toys that represent the various stories that you enjoyed, then this is a good one for the collection, if for no other reason because he is a little bit distinctive. He does remind me a bit of the Michael Bay Megatron in how, on his angular bits. Actually, I would say that he actually reminds me a lot of Transformers Prime Megatron. That, you know, especially around the helmet. Let's take a look at the head here. Let's see if I can zoom in even more and get his noggin in view. Can you focus on that, my camera? Come on, yeah, yeah, there you go. So not a bad head sculpt. You know, not the best that we've ever seen, but not bad by any means. And I do like the red paint apps over the purple. I think that that they pop. You know, his colors are good. The light gray is a nice gray. You know, it's not that cheap gray plastic that we've seen on plenty of other Megatron toys. It's actually fresh and bright and contrasts well against the black. In fact, if anything, the contrast between the very light gray and the black makes it hard for me to get a good view of him on the camera. So, you know, I like what they did, but it does have its challenges. So Osaka Jack says, do you think they decided to make him differ from Prime by geometry? Prime uses squares, Megatron uses triangles. That's an astute observation. You know, let me give I've been meaning to give Toast for comments that I see here, Toast, because, you know, that is insightful. And I would say that looking at him, my impression is yes, that's intentional. They wanted to make his geometry more aggressive, more pointy, more dangerous looking, and I think that they accomplished that. You know, he's got a nice wide stance. His knees are all pointy, and you know, his legs are wider at the bottom. He looks like he's solidly planted. He's got sufficiently big shoulders that convey strength and power, and of course he's got the iconic giant arm cannon. And Don and Rob say, triangle, triangle man, triangle man, triangle man hates Optimus man. They have a fight, triangle wins, triangle man. I am so sorry. I have regrets. Maybe. Okay, I don't really regret that much. I regret that I wasn't playing it on the ukulele. So yeah, he's his articulation is decent. He's got a ball joint. Well, he's got a. I think there's a ball joint in there, but since his head already tips, you can't really tell. But says no and yes. He's got moderate articulation on the shoulders. He can't quite do a jumping jack, but he can do that. And that's important. And he can still do that. He's got that. He's got this action due to transformation. He's got a lot of movement at the elbow, and he does. Yeah, so he it's a little bit awkward because of the way that the arms are jointed, but he's still got full mobility, and I like the fingers. Here's something else that I think that I should show. Wait, maybe I can show it here. So look at how well the fingers are designed. Like, those are nice Transformer hands. Those are really nicely sculpted, and that's something that we don't see often, but it lets him be a little bit more expressive than just clenched fist with a hole in the top to hold a gun. I like that. So, he's got that. He's got lots of motion in the legs. And like I said, his joints are nice and tight. He's not floppy in any regard. So that's always really nice. I like it when the toys can hold a pose. He's got a very, very well articulated knee because that's how he transforms. So, he can really, really move his leg into a lot of positions. Once again, we have an ankle tilt before that was a thing, and we have a pivot. So he's got big, wide, stable feet. He stands up very, very nicely. And so, yeah, this is a guy that keep him in robot mode most of the time. He can turn into a tank, shoot somebody, and then turn back into a robot, and you'll love him. Just kind of. I don't know. I mean, you don't ignore the tank mode, but the tank mode is, at least for me, the tank mode just doesn't excite me. All right, that's all I'm saying. They kind of, I don't like the tank mode. He's got a twist here too, so he can do that. So yeah, very, very cool. That is, and honestly, if you're going to get Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime, you kind of have to get Fall of Cybertron Megatron. I mean, it's Barbie and Ken, it's Buzz Lightyear and General Zurg. That's what you do. So, anyway, that is Transformers Fall of Cybertron from 2010. Megatron, and I guess that thing is when it's on this arm, the little thingy kind of gets in the way. I'm gonna try and put it back on this arm. It seemed like it should have gone on, and it's very hard to click this on without pressing the button because the button's right on the other side of that. But there. All right, so there we go. Yeah, he looks good. I like him. Looks good. All right. Stand here, Megatron, and don't kill anybody. All right. There you go. So, all right. So next on the list, we're going to jump forward in time to 2012 for Fall of Cybertron. So you had the War for Cybertron video game because there was still a chance. like that. That's really what they're saying is that in War for Cybertron, there was a chance that there was going to be a victor that would save the planet. in Fall of Cybertron, the name says it all. Their hope is lost. Okay. We learn that if you have a bunch of super powerful robots on your planet that are both unwilling to stop fighting, then your planet is going to be destroyed. That's the lesson to be taken. So every time you look at Transformers and say, gosh, I wish those were real. Like, wouldn't they be cool if they were on Earth? No! No, they wouldn't. The world would be destroyed. So don't wish for that. If you want to visit planet Cybertron, if it existed, hey, go for it. But Transformers, you stay on your own side of the galaxy, all right? There's a reason why in the Marvel comics, people hated all Transformers. Not just the Decepticons, they hated all of them. It's because Transformers poop all over everything. So, yeah, I'm going to have more chocolate just because. Toast to everybody. Come on, play the music. There. There, that made it seem like I was, see, it was subtle. All right, so now let's move ahead to 2012 Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime. And you know what? He's cute. Like, this is a cute little truck. It's now you look at it compared to the vehicle mode of other Prime, which I'm not going to do because we'll be here all night. But this looks a lot more like this is not. We have abandoned the 2010 aesthetic. I guess that's what I'm saying. We have abandoned the idea that these are alt modes for robots that just have other modes. This looks like something that would have a passenger riding inside and be able to look out the windows and see where they were driving. It's certainly not a bad mode, but it's not to the same level in terms of design. It's much simpler. It looks like, it's very obvious of where there are robot arms, where there's a robot chest, where there are robot legs. It's just not to the same level. And I don't mean to make that sound like it's bad. I'm not saying that this is bad. I'm not even saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying that when you compare this to the 2010 incarnation, it's not to the same level. You take a look, and it's still cool. I like that he's very angular. He looks like a husky truck. He's very squat, and it makes him look cute. He looks chibi. Like I want to cuddle him, and I'm not sure that that's actually the look that you want for your leader of the Autobots. He's just so he's so short. He's a short little truck. I mean, it looks like 2/3 of him is missing, but and again, I'm not saying that's bad, but it doesn't hold up to the same level as the predecessor. Also, you take a look at the grays, and they are the usual kind of cheap-looking gray plastic that you get on a lot of Transformers toys. That is uninspired. The blue is brighter and a little bit more cartoony. I do like the details on the wheels. That's nice. But they're still not as nice as those red rings on the previous Optimus Prime. You got some hollowness back here. There's nothing making a back bumper here. and some obvious back of the mold visible stuff there, which is fine. You know, it's not like it kills it, but just little things that make this mold and this alt mode a little bit less appealing, a little bit less compelling, and a little bit less interesting than his predecessor. So he does, of course, turn into a robot. So let's turn him into a robot. And we'll back up, give it a little bit of room so we can take off the gun. The gun has two handles because the back is on an angle, so that allows this to peg in and still face forward, which is cool. You know, it's a simple solution. I'm not gonna ding them for that. That's clever. So good on them. But we do take that out, and then we have this bumper section here that are on little ball joints, so you're going to pull those away from the front, and then you have the shoulders here, you have the legs back here. You're going to pull the legs forward and separate them at the knees. You're going to bend the legs at the knees. Notice that this does not have a whole bunch of double jointed linkages. It just wraps around, and then you have the foot which comes down here, and this foot which comes down right there. The feet are on ball joints, so you do get some articulation there. And now the shoulders are on this piece that kind of goes through the whole thing and links with where the head is connected. So it does a whole thing here. Let's go ahead and take the bumpers out of the way and just bend them down like that. And let me raise the camera so that you can see what's going on. And then we're going to bring the shoulders up, and notice how as they ride on this little piece here, that piece is going to pivot and bring the head up. And then you can take this back panel and fold it down, and it clicks. And now that the arms are up, see, he's got his arms up. It's like, oh boy, I was tired last night. Oh gosh. Come on, camera, focus in on that. There we go. All right, so yeah, he's stretching in the morning. You're going to straighten out the arms, just like that. And then we're going to twist the arms around at the bicep, just like that. And then we can bring the arms the rest of the way around there, and then rotate the fists. So there's the fist. And then we'll rotate that fist. There we go. And then you want to take these smokestacks. He's got 3 of them now. And you rotate them that way. And rotate them that way. And you make sure that, while I did this just kind of came forward. If you haven't done that already, then bring the rest of the body down. And that's it. Whereas the other one was an investment in time and spatial reasoning, and kind of something that's going to make your brain hurt as you think about it. This guy is easy. He's easy. And then you take that and you see you have the little handle up there. That's going to go over his hand. So he's got his blaster here, and he can be all Optimus Prime-y. And let's go ahead and put him on his friend, the Susan. And there we go. And let's try and get them into a dynamic pose. The shoulders are a little bit awkward. It's hard to get them to do something really cool because there's not a whole lot of room for them to move around there. But yeah, he can get into kind of a cool pose like that, and look like that. And so yeah, that is his robot mode. I like that he's kind of chunky. He's got nicely exaggerated body dynamics. I like that his arms and his legs are big and blocky, and then he's got skinny thighs and skinny biceps and a little head. It makes him look, kind of bulkheady almost. He's still got big Prime boots. We know how important that is, and he's got big shoulders. That's always nice, but the shoulders are a little bit narrow for how he's constructed. Now let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. You can see the detail. The detail on the mold is not nearly as intricate as his predecessor. The paint apps are decent. He has a good looking Optimus Prime face. The forearms are a little bit awkward looking because of the large divots because of the way that they transform, but not bad. Not digging the cheap looking gray plastic. I'm just gonna say that that really doesn't do the toy any favors. You got these things which I never know what to do with. Like, I guess they're supposed to go under here, but they don't really click in anywhere. I almost want to put them back here, but that doesn't work either. There's just no good place for them, and I guess they're supposed to go on the underside here, but there's just they're there, and they're not bad, but you have a lot of 5mm holes, so you can take the gun and you can put the gun in places. You can put this there. If you wanted to do that, you could do that. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if it's your toy, you can do it if you wanna. I think you can even do this, which that's kind of cool. Let's show that. Yeah. So there's options here. There's Optimus Prime. it's Optimus Prime. I said Optimus. He's option. I'm sorry. I have regrets. But my regret isn't buying this guy. I know that it sounds like I'm like poo-pooing this toy. It's not a terrible toy. The nice things about it are that it's easy. Like, you transform this back and forth all day long, and it's just a Zen practice that's satisfying. And he's got such a cute little truck mode. And his robot mode is decently dynamic. It's very armored looking and still sufficiently cybertronian. But if I'm going to compare, and it's impossible not to. Like you can't have the 2010 video game toy next to the 2012 video game toy and have them be so dramatically different in the level of complexity and the level of development that went into them and not compare them. You put these toys side by side and they don't even look like they're part of the same line, which really they're not. That this was a separate video game, and I suspect a separate budget. He's not. He doesn't feel cheap, but he is small. His alt mode is cute, but not necessarily imposing. His colors are a little bit brighter and a little bit less severe. His detail is lighter. It's just, in so many ways, it's a completely different attitude in how this toy was designed than this toy, and there's room in the world for both. But if I had to choose one, this was good. Yeah, I don't mean to poop all over it. It's not bad. So yeah, that is Optimus Prime. Now, of course, if you remember the 2000 tweens, it was pretty common when you had pretty much any Optimus Prime toy, of which we started getting a lot. I mean, we've always gotten lots of Optimus Prime toys, but especially when they started the classic series, you started seeing lots of incarnations of Optimus Prime. And of course, if you were going to make a mold for Optimus Prime, you pretty much had to then... Let's see if the camera's going to look at it. Is the camera going to look at it? Wait, here, let me put a riser. I'm trying to do this all dramatic. So if you were going to have a mold of Optimus Prime, you pretty much had to recolor it into Ultra Magnus. And there he is. It is Ultra Magnus. 2013, Fall of Cybertron, Ultra Magnus. It's Optimus Prime, except in Ultra Magnus colors. I think he has a new head. I hope he has a new head. I don't remember if he has. We're going to find out if he has a new head. He also has a cool sword thing, like a sword gun thing, a gun sword, a sword gun, a gun sorty, a sordid affair of the gun kind. So, that there's, does this come apart? Yes, this comes apart. Oh my gosh, look at how many parts. There's lots of parts. So look, he's got a gun here that can go like that. And then he's got a sword thing here that kind of goes like this, and then this I think can go here maybe. Like he's got a sword gun thing. That's a cool sword gun thing. So I'm guessing that he has a new head, because they're not going to mold a new weapon and not mold a new head, right? I don't know. Let's transform him. Let's find out. Like, you already know what this looks like. I don't have to do a slow spin. So we're going to take these and kind of dislodge them. Oh, that one popped away. It's just on a ball joint. It snaps right back in. So, shut up, Dawn. I know he's in there saying, "Till all are broken!" It's not a catchphrase. And then we will pull the legs down and separate them. Oh, there we go. And then these just fold around like that and like that. And then the feet are going to come back like that, just like that. And then just like that. There we go. And you see his body just comes around like that. And then we will take the arms here and pull them away from the sides of the body, and then rotate everything. Oh, look at that. He's got an Ultra Magnus head. Look at that Ultra Magnus head. See? He's got an Ultra Magnus head. That's important. And then we'll take the arms the rest of the way around and rotate, and take the arm the rest of the way around and rotate, and then rotate the fists and rotate the fists. And I don't think that my camera really wants to focus on all that white against the dark blue. Like it is not, it's not digging that. And then let's turn his gun sword back into a sword gun, whatever it is. It's part gun, part sword, all cop. So there we go. There, gun sword. There, yeah. And that is him. And boy, his face is so white. I'm going to try and get the camera to focus in on his head. Let's see. Can we get it? Can we get it? Let's turn down the exposure just a little bit, and maybe you'll have an easier time. So there it is. Nah, you know, I've got to turn that up. Yeah, turn it up again. There. So let me bring that closer. Maybe the camera will still focus. Come on, camera, focus. You can do it. You know, it's so hard to, like, the bottom part of his face, everything that's white just wants to wash out. But then when I turn it down, then you can't see the dark blue very well. So there you go. There he is. Not really the best Ultra Magnus face I've ever seen. I mean, it's a blue and white robot head with Ultra Magnus ears. So, you know, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not bad. Does it really evoke Ultra Magnusdom? Yeah, I'm gonna say not really. But look, he's got a really big sword. He's got a sword. Look at that sword. It's a gun sword. So, hey, gun sword. Woo! That's. I'm gonna turn up the exposure again. So yeah, this is Fall of Cybertron Ultra Magnus. It's an Ultra Magnus. Like, you know, you like Ultra Magnus? Here's one. There he is. I think we're done with him. Does anybody need me to say more about Ultra Magnus? You want me to say the word gun sword a few more times? Because I can. I'll do that for you. But other than that, let's take a look at a crowd favorite. Everybody loves him. He's the guy you love to hate. Or maybe the guy you hate that you love because you hate him.
I think the answer is obvious.
That's right. It's Starscream.
I guess that makes me the new leader.
I'm just showing you. I'm not. It doesn't make you anything. It makes you exist. What is his deal? He's kind of got a fixation. It's unhealthy. I think you need therapy, Starscream. Seriously. Osaka Jack says, does that make him the new leader? And
I guess that makes me the new leader.
The answer, Osaka Jack, is yes. Yes, it makes him the. You know what? It makes you the new leader. Osaka Jack is now the new leader. Everybody, toast Osaka Jack. He is now the new leader of the Decepticons. In other news, there is a bunch of undissolved chocolate milk mix at the bottom of my glass, and I'm swishing it around because, like, that's the most delicious part of the chocolate milk. Like when you swish it around and you just kind of get this really, really dark part. So a toast to all hail Osaka Jack. Thank you, Rob. So. There we go. Yes. So, all right. So, yeah, we've got Starscream. So this is Fall of Cybertron Starscream. Did they even do a War for Cybertron Starscream? I don't think they did. And in the video game, these guys looked really, really cool. It was a little bit of a hybrid of a spaceshipy looking design with just a hint of Delta. And let's face it, Transformers fans have been wanting the Delta designs since they saw them in the cartoons way back in Generation 1. So, you know, this was a little bit of a love letter, but kind of a light love letter, because he's still very different. Unfortunately, because this is from the 2012 line, you can tell that it suffers from a little bit of the cheapness of that line. The toys are a little bit oversimplified. They're not bad toys. Let me say again that they're not bad, but they are much less complex. And you're pointing. Oh, I understand. I can fix that. Oh no, we're not. Oh, okay. Got it. I am. Okay, I guess I have to be quiet right now because Retrobot is sleeping. So. All right. So. So there is his vehicle mode. It's a cool mode, and let me show you something that I only just learned about. Maybe I should have read the directions years ago. This is actually pretty cool. So you can take the top off here, this tail piece. You can just pull that out, and then you take the guns off. And I always knew that the guns could go together like this. All right, and see, that's cool because then these gears mesh and you can get them both to spin in tandem, and that's pretty cool. But what I didn't know is that then there's two holes here, and they can go on top like that, huh? And then it creates this 5mm plug where you can put that back in, and so yeah, look at that. That. Like that's actually okay. That's a little bit silly. Yeah, with the thing on top, I'm not sure I'm digging the thing on top, but I do like this. Like that's actually really cool. Yeah, the ability for these to spin in tandem. That's actually a neat feature. So that's pretty cool. And overall, I like the basic geometry of this vehicle mode. I think that the things that I don't like about it is I really don't like how empty this area is right here. You've got some pretty severe visible head syndrome right here. At least it's at least you can have the head facing down so that you're not like staring into his face when he's in jet mode. But if you turn it around here, there is definitely a little bit of Starscream staring at his own crotch. So there is that. We've got I wish that they had done something to fill that. Just a little something. That would have gone a long way. Also, the plastic itself just feels like a cheap plastic. Let me get the riser out of the way. And Ninja, get out of there. Get out of there, Ninja. So yeah, he just has a little bit of a cheap feel to him, which is a shame because it is kind of a cool cybertronian Starscream mode. You can give him the guns. Actually, I think that here. Wait, let me do this. There's other things that you can do with the guns too. Like they've got these long things here, so you could even have them here. Or wait, let's do that. See if that works. So yeah, we'll put them. We've got these side pegs, so those can go into the legs like that. And since the back sides of these guns are flat so that they can go up against each other, then they go nicely under the wings like that. And that's not so bad. You got a little bit of inside of the mold look right there, but that's kind of cool. And then we can put this back where it goes, and that's cool. So, he bent his nose. So, there's options here. There are options. And so, let's see. Is there any landing gear? There's no landing gear. Nope. there's no landing gear. He doesn't. I guess what you could do. Let's see. We could do this, and there. he's got landing gear. All right. Yeah. The nose down. There you go. Nose down. I guess that makes you the new leader. I guess not.
Our clever leader doesn't know what it does.
No, it holds up your nose. That's what it does. That's what it does. So, all right. So, yeah, there is the alt mode, and let's go ahead and take these off and turn him into a robot because that is what he does. That is his job. Let me give the camera a little bit more space. So we're going to fold the nose tip down. We're going to disengage the legs from the underside of the body of the ship. We're going to bring this whole thing forward like this so that he has legs. We're going to flip the toe forward. He has a toe. He has 2 toes, one on each leg. They just look like toes. And then we have arms here. There's some arms tucked in there, and yeah, at least the arms are hidden when it's in vehicle mode. That's nice. So we're going to pull those out. They're on. There we go. They're on these little swing around panels, so they're going to swing around like that, and then we're going to take the whole body and bend it around like that. And then we can flip up the head. And now this does kind of a neat thing. Let me raise the camera so you can see what's going on here. So the body does a neat thing. So it started out like this, and then it bends down like this and like this. Well, there's a joint right here, and that's going to bend up and then like that, sort of like an L configuration. And that brings the back of the body closer to the front, and then you've got this big fat tab here that's going to slot into that big fat slot right there. They go together like that, and it really goes in there. Like it's solid. And then you can take these things and bend them back like this, and they go like that, and we want to spin the head around. So there we go. We'll spin the head around. And then from here, you can put the arms into a more natural position, swivel at the bicep. He does have a double jointed linkage at the elbow, so that's cool. And we'll swivel here, and then we can give him Gatling guns somewhere. I guess we'll give him Gatling guns here, because Starscream is known for having Gatling guns on the undersides of his arms. So, yeah, there you go. That is Starscream in his robot mode. Let's get him. Boy, those feet are weird. Those are some weird, wild feet. Did they do something? Do they? Oh yeah, there is an ankle twist. Okay, there's an ankle tilt. So that's cool. So all right, and oh wait, before we go any further, special announcement: Juno Getrum is here. Juno Getrum is here. And here, in order to continue with the theme of Fall Llama, I'm going to pour my water into my glass of used hot chocolate, which looks delicious. Yeah, that's... A toast to Juno Getrum. Well, that's certainly something. Yeah, that's really, really watered down chocolate residue. That, yeah. I guess I'll just set that down carefully. Not really the best flavor in the world. All right, so there is Starscream in his robot mode, and let's go ahead and show off some of his movable bits. He's got an awkwardly moving head. He can move his head around. He can tip it up and down. It's just hard to get your fingers in there. There's so much apparatus here. The shoulders, they move all over the place. They move up and down and forward and back. And with the exception of where they run into the wing, they have a good range of motion. He's got a double jointed linkage in the arm, so his arms can curl up very, very nicely. He's got a twist at the wrist. Very big fists too. Twist at the wrist with very big fists. That's like his catchphrase. His legs have lots of articulation. You know, they because they're kind of separated away from the hips pretty substantially. He can move a lot. And then he's got about 90 degrees at the knee. And then there's a little bit of ankle tilt here, which is nice to see, and some awkward feet. That's so he can get into pretty much whatever poses you want to put him in, and then he's got Gatling guns, which you know, Gatling guns are cool. And so there he is, and I'm trying to make him look neat, like get him into a cool pose, and I don't think I've succeeded. So let's take a look at the detail of this guy. You know, again, it's not to the level of that Prime, and I guess I need to stop comparing things to that Prime. It's not bad. He's not a bad looking guy, but he's got some serious hollowness in his body. Let's go ahead and move this arm out of the way. So, you know, you can see all the way through there. That is some pretty serious. Let's take it to the other camera. So, you know, it's like, hello, hi, look, I see you. Hey, yeah. There's a lot of hollow there. His light piping works. You know, you can see, like, here, look, eyes off, eyes on, eyes off, eyes on, eyes off, eyes on. That's pretty cool. I like the translucent oranges. They look great. They pop more than everything else on this figure. The plastic is kind of has a kind of dull satiny look, and the red is a little bit grayed out. In fact, all of the colors seem just a little bit grayed out. And that may be intentional. As a Decepticon, they probably wanted his colors to be a little bit muted and a little bit evil looking. And so, yeah, we got Starscream with awkward feet. Just really awkward. The feet, they're just, yeah, they're weird feet. I feel like the feet should do something. They're ugly feet, just ugly feet. That's it. But ugly feet. So yeah, that is Starscream in his robot mode. He's fine. He's by no means the best Starscream, and by no means the worst Starscream. He's Starscream. He's okay. You know, if you see him on the secondary market, and you really want him, then hey, go for him. His joints are nice and tight. At least the joints on mine are nice and tight, and he functions fine. He has a serviceable alt mode. He has a serviceable robot mode, but neither mode is overwhelmingly impressive. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and get him. But I would definitely check and try and get a deal, because he's not a quintessential must-have version of Starscream. Now, of course, if you're going to mold Starscream, then you also have to mold Thundercracker and Skywarp.
Thundercracker.
He looks Thundercracker. Look at Thundercracker, looking Thundercracker. He looks very Thundercracker. And these guys look as good as you would expect them to look in their colors. This one looks very Thundercracker. It's hard not to just say that over and over again. You hear it and you just kind of go with it. And here we'll turn him into a robot real quick. His joints are a little bit looser than Starscream's were, but that's all right. And we'll pop that around here. I'm going to spin his head before this gets all crunched up. That'll make it a little bit easier. And then squish. And there we go. There we go. And you see, these guys, the nice thing about these guys is that you can see that they're very, very playable. You can pick them up, you can transform them very quickly. They look like who they're supposed to be, and they're posable, they're decently articulated. They're actually a very nice balance of not being too simple, but not being so simple that they're just kind of disappointing. They're right on the edge, and there's a place in the world for toys that are just fun to play with, even if they aren't necessarily the coolest looking representations of a given character. So here we have Thundercracker looking very Thundercracker, and then we got Skywarp here. He looks very Skywarp, and then you know what? I didn't actually. You know what? I think I didn't bend his thing down. I think I like it better. Yeah, I think I like that better. With Starscream, I have his folded down, and I think that this looks better. Let me know what you think, but I think I've just made a decision that when I transform these guys, it was an accident, but I think that my intention now is just to leave those things open. Leave the nose cone pointing down, and then we'll take him and we'll pull out his arms and we'll fold around his head, and then we'll do the weird thing with the body and blap, and there he is. Oh. There. The arm wanted to come apart. He's not broken. And there is Thundercracker, or that Skywarp looking all Thundercracker. I don't know. He's Skywarp. He looks Thundercracker. And here we'll give him his guns. We have to give him his guns. There. Monica didn't want to get out the guns because they're a pain in the butt to store, but we got out the guns. I'm going to show the guns because I made her get out the guns. So there. Yeah, there. And once again, good light piping. So yeah. So yeah, that is start. Wait here. We'll go for the shot that everybody wants to see. We'll put him over here, and we'll put him over here, Yeah, just like that. And then we'll get Starscream, and I'm going to pull his nose cone down so that he looks cooler. There. And yeah, go right there. Go right there. Don't knock everybody over, Starscream. There we go. So there it is. There's the three of them all together. They're being the Seekers. Everybody likes seeing the Seekers all together. So that's the Seekers all together. And let me here I'll and yeah, all right, yeah, Seekers, all of them, and then they're just falling over. All right.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
All three will fall. All three will fall. That's fine. That is fine. Move these guys out. All right, so we got Optimus Prime, we got Megatron, we got another Optimus Prime, we got an Ultra Magnus, we got three, count 'em, three Seekers. What more could you want? Well, I'll tell you, perhaps what you want is some jazz hands. Jazz hands. Jazz hands. So there he is. There is Jazz. And so I believe that this one is 2010? No, he's not. Okay, it's 2012. All right, but they did paint the wheels to look like 2010 Optimus Prime's wheels, which I find interesting. He's... the camera is actually being very flattering to him because his white is a little bit pearlescent. It's not quite as bright as I would love. The blue actually looks darker on camera than it does in real life. And the red is really popping. So, his vehicle mode is actually looking great in the preview. Like, it's funny because I'm looking at the preview. It's like, wow, that toy looks cool. And then I look at the toy that's in front of me and it's like, oh, that can't be the same toy, but it is. It absolutely is. So this is Jazz. Now he's got some issues. I'm just going to say that he's got some issues. He's got some pretty obvious hinges here and some pretty obvious fist and empty caboose syndrome here. I like what they were going for. Like, I think that the computer model that this toy is based off of is really cool. Notice that this is done in the style of the first video game where there is no passenger compartment. It's a robot that turns into a vehicle. He's got armor, he's got a gun, he's got engine things sticking out the back. I mean, the aesthetic is very, very clearly based on the aesthetic of the first game. But it's a toy that was manufactured in 2012 as part of a line that obviously had a much lower budget. And it kind of comes through, especially as you start to interact with the toy. The vehicle mode doesn't look bad, but it's also not super tight. Let's go ahead and take that out, and we'll move the riser. There we go. And let's just take a look so that you can kind of see the whole thing. And it's a decent vehicle mode. It would be greatly improved if the parts meshed up better. But they just kind of like this is supposed to, I think this is supposed to go in It's supposed to, supposed to go in somewhere. I feel like these are supposed to mesh in there, but they don't really. And let's do this. Yeah, I wanna see if maybe I can get him to look better in vehicle mode. Can I get him to look better in vehicle mode? I don't know if I can get. No, you know, like it's so there's this gap here and there's this tab here, and it really seems like they are supposed to go, but they don't. Look, the arm goes like right there, and it seems like it's supposed to fit, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. And I want it to. Like, it really looks like it's supposed to, but it just doesn't go. That, and that, I don't know. I mean, yeah, so yeah, the vehicle mode this is the vehicle mode. This is how it's not mistransformed. This is just how it looks. It's got stuff that just doesn't quite line up the way that it seems like it's supposed to. A lot of hollowness back here. That's and I'm afraid that the toy feels cheap. It feels very hollow. It feels very light. So as much as I like the aesthetic of what they're trying to achieve, the toy doesn't do a very good job of capturing that likeness. It just doesn't really bring it to life the way that you would hope that the toy would. Let's go ahead and turn it into a robot. So we're going to pull the whole back fender out that way and pull this back fender out. You see how it's tabbed in. There's a tab in the spoiler here that engages a slot that's on the inside of the fender on either side. And then those are going to go around here like this. And then you have the legs on the underside here. The feet are going to pivot forward like that on artificial wheels, because the video game character has his wheels here, but the toy does not. So they just kind of have molded in wheel detail for reasons. Then you just stand it up like
the fastest car on wheels.
Yes, thank you for that. So then you've got this whole thing that happens here. There's a whole situation here. Let me bring up the camera so that you can see what's going on. So you have when you bring the body down, all right? So it was like this. Here, let me put it back the way that it was. So when the body is up here in the underside and you pull it down, it's going to pull the center section of the hood down, and it's going to allow the back panel and the head to come up. And that's it's a little bit weird the way that this stuff works together. So you're going to bring that bottom forward. You're going to tip forward the hood. And let me see if I can get these out of the way so that you can see a little bit better what's going on. So this is going to come up like this, like that. And then this, let's see, this spoiler thing is it's also got several things happening. They have, there's a lot of things linked together here. This is going to bend and pull the head up. And then it seems like there's supposed to be like some slots here that it would peg into, but there don't seem to be any slots for anything to peg into. So instead, this just comes up and it gives him husky shoulders. And so this whole thing is just going to push up like that. And then you have the arms that are going to close against that. And now we take the forearms and we're going to disengage them from the door panels, which is going to be, see, there's a little hook right there, if the camera will show it. Let me see if the camera can show it. Camera, there we go. Okay, so you see that little hook thingy right there. So you're going to disengage that like that, and then you can pull the arm away, and we'll do the same thing on the other side here. That's right there, and we're going to disengage that just like that so that we can pull the arm away. And now we take the body. It's kind of there's a couple little notches here in the back, and these blue pieces are going to click into those notches to sort of retain where the hood of the car goes. And now this goes here like that against the side wheels here, and we can fold the wrists forward like that. Let's go ahead and let you see that a little bit more. We'll fold this wrist out and then rotate the arms at the biceps, bend the elbows, and voila, he's jazz, sort of. He's jazz-like. And that hand does not hold the gun. The gun does not go into the hands very well. Here, let's try this way. There. Okay, so there, he can hold his gun. And yeah, there he is. Is there an ankle tilt? There's no ankle tilt. There's that was asking a lot. All right, and there he is. That is Jazz in his robot mode, or it's someone in their robot mode. You know, like this. I'm sorry. I don't love this toy. I'm sorry. I want to love it. Because I love the whole aesthetic of the Fall for Cybertron and War for Cybertron video games. Like, I love the kind of husky shouldered robots with dynamic proportions and cool lighting effects on their wheels and stuff like that. But this feels light. It feels cheap. And it's a little bit floppy. The joints are a little bit loosey goosey. He can't seem to hold on to his gun. It's just a disappointing toy. It is a disappointing toy. And you know, if you're a fan of the game and you're thinking, oh, Jazz is cool, I like that, I want to get that toy, you know. Do you? I don't know if you do. I mean, if you do, then get a deal. Like, get him as part of a lot of much better toys, or, you know, get him cheap, but don't pay a whole lot, because this is not the best. And so let's do uno más. So yeah, that's Jazz. You know, there he is. That's him. There's little nubs here, and I imagine they go somewhere. Like they should go somewhere. It seems like they should go somewhere. It seems like you should be able to stick this gun somewhere. And I don't know where they're. Does it go in the knee? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that is that. Oh, you know, maybe he'll be the next one. Oh, that poor toy. That poor toy. All right. So, let's do one more. One more. All right. Uno mas. Uno mas. Jeez, even Retrobot has gone to sleep. Look at that. So, let's take a look at Shockwave. He is also part of the 2012 line. But I will say that Shockwave right away looks way cooler. He just looks way cooler. Like, I don't even know if I have him transformed right. I don't know if it matters. I think that those go forward. And yeah, he is some kind of menacing cybertronian. Let's see. The alt mode is a cybertronian mobile artillery mode. His weapon is the Slingshot, a pre-order exclusive weapon for the Fall of Cybertron video game. Yeah, okay, sure, I'll take that. He looks cool. I'm just gonna say this looks cool. I mean, it's some kind of spaceship or something. And it's got this big thing on it, which looks awesome. Way better than that core class Shockwave that I got with the satellite dish thing. It's got this going on in the front. That's cool. It's got thrusters in the back, which bear a striking resemblance to robot hands. Oh wait, you know what? These go up like this. See, I didn't even have them transformed right. There. Yeah, here. Let me. Come on, go in there. Go in there. Don't make a liar out of me. Don't make a liar out of me. There. Yeah, there. Okay. So there we go. Yeah. So he's got engines back here. He's got cool backwards wings that are awesome. I think these things. Yeah, those things go like that. All right. So, yeah, Shockwave. I'm gonna turn up the exposure here just a click so that you can see a little bit better what's going on. And Tim Kangaroo is here. Tim Kangaroo. All right, I'm gonna toast you with some highly diluted chocolate water. Welcome, Tim Kangaroo! I won't have to scrub hard when I clean the glass. That's the important thing. So yeah, I'm digging the alt mode, and it's a little bit of a Cybertronian what the hell, but at the same time, it's a what the hell that I get. Like I get it. It's whatever you decide to do with it, whether you have these panels up or down, or you have the wings forward like this, or you have them backwards like this. Whatever you do with it, this vehicle mode looks cool, and that's what I like about it. It still has that iconic Shockwave gun mode barrel thing integrated into the design, which I think is important. It makes it very, very obvious who this is supposed to be, even though the rest of his alt mode is very, very different from anything that we're used to seeing with the character. So yeah, I'm digging the alt mode. Let's see if it still holds together when I turn it into a robot. So as you saw, the arms are back here, and they are on double jointed linkages. And it's funny because this is also a 2012, but it feels more like the 2010. The plastic feels nicer. He's got more detail in him. So far my first impressions are much different than, say, comparing him to Numbnuts here. So, yeah. I believe that there is some pretty significant parts forming that happens right with this piece here. This comes out, and then you've got that, and I don't know if I'm not sure. I didn't practice this guy. Just to let you know, I didn't practice this guy. You flip the feet forward. We're going to take these little pieces here, and we're going to swing them down to his legs, and that's going to beef up kind of the skinny legs a little bit. And then we're going to take the shoulders down like this, and then, if I remember correctly, he like has creepy claw hands or something. So wait here, let's oh no, he's got a fist. So there's a fist there, and then we got a fist there, and then we take these down, and okay, so this is going to swing around and make the chest, and then his head pops up. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. And now we're going to take the shoulders up like that, and then bring the arms down like this, and shoulders up, and arms around like this. And then we can give him some wing things. So he's got seeker wings, which I don't mind. And then, okay, so he's got a case of gun butt. He's got a pretty severe case of gun butt. And I guess if you wanted to, you could certainly, oh, there's little tabs there so that those move in tandem. That's nice. So you can have him do this, and you could leave gun butt there. You don't have to take off gun butt, but you want to take off gun butt. Let's be honest. You want to take off the gun butt. And then here, this can go over his arm. And he can hold it like a gun. You've got this that can go right there. I'm wondering if there's something else here that we can do. I'm wondering if there was a... Oh, yes, there is. Okay, so there is a slot right here and then a rectangular tab on the inside of the gun. So you can actually leave the fist pivoted in and then give him his iconic gun arm, which this is cool. Like that thing is very cool. I like it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks great. You can also take it off and just have 3 gun barrels, and that also looks really good. There's no real bad way. And then you can take this if you want, and you can plug that into the back. And so, yeah. Now, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna do something. Let me pull that back off. Come off. All right, and I apologize because I'm undoing everything that I just did, but I have to know. I just have to know. Snap the head in. So I'm transforming him back. I know you're like, wait a minute, you just transformed him. Why are you doing this? You're ruining everything. I know, but this is. There's a question in my mind that needs to be answered. So I'm putting everything back together, and I'm putting the arms back over here, and then I'm going to tilt his toes forward, and then I'm going to take these things and put them there, swing them around that way there, and now put this right there. And see, now this time I transformed him without his weapons, without his gun butt. Yeah, a little bit empty. It's a little bit empty. There's like that's still something. It's I'm not going to say that it isn't anything, but yeah, you know, I always, one of the things I don't like is when there's a really critical piece of the transform that just becomes a weapon, and this is a pretty critical piece. And I wanted to see what it looked like if you didn't have that piece and you transformed it. Certainly with the gun button place, it looks a lot better. So yeah, that's what I wanted to see. So yeah, he does lose a couple points because of parts forming the gun butt. But let's go ahead and turn him back into a cool-ass looking robot. And we'll put the gun here, and we can stick this on here. Even though I actually really like this piece on the end here, but since it also goes there, I'm going to put it there. And then we'll flip that around there, and flip that around there, and flip the feet out, separate the legs, click that up there, and give him a robot hand. Shockwave should at least get to have one robot hand. Let's give Shockwave a hand, huh? Yeah. see, that's like the you know, when you say give someone a hand, except it's literal because he only gets one hand. So, all right. So there he is. There is Shockwave. You know, he's a kind of a skinny figure. He is. He's pretty well articulated. We got a pivot here. Nice light piping. Look at that. I mean, that border on looks like it's got an LED in it, but yeah, the light piping works really nicely. Love the chest. Love the shoulders. You know, for the most part, I love the body dynamics. He is very, very angular and you know, definitely a lot more pointy than I remember original Shockwave being, but you know, it works for him. He still looks like himself, and yeah, we can of course take that off the back and give him some extra barrel action there, and I don't think that hurts him one iota. He's got very well articulated shoulders. The shoulders spin, they go up, they go down. There's an extra linkage piece in the bicep here, so you got a swivel at the elbow in addition to it pivoting because of the ball joint. And then due to the transform, you also have this extra flex here, which, yeah, I don't know what that does in terms of giving you more dramatic poses, but it is what it's extra movement. And also what's important is that TF fan page 101 is here. A toast to TF fan page 101. So good. Oh, and Tao of Ultimate Doom is here. Whoa, all right. See, this is why we stay late sometimes, so that we can get Tao of Ultimate Doom. Welcome. So, looking back at Shockwave, he's got a good robot mode. I like his robot mode. We've got very well articulated hip joints. Those are also on a ball joint. He's got a bend at the knee, and he's got a toe that tips. You can get him into cool, dynamic Shockwave, being menacing and cold and calculating, but also menacing poses. Look at that. That's a good looking toy. I mean, there's not a lot to him, but what's there, I think, is done well. and you know, he's a little bit skinny in the legs. And Dudley's decided that he wants to get attention, and you know what that means. You guys know what that means. That means, oh my gosh, that Dudley gets to be on the. Oh, sorry, buddy. That Dudley gets to be on the live stream. Look at everybody, Dudley. Oh, hi there. Hi there. Do you want me to stop talking to the camera? He wants me to stop talking to the camera. He's like, no, Dad, don't. Oh, there we go. He is giving me such a dirty look. So, yeah, Shockwave's a good one. You know, that's the bottom line. Shockwave is a good one. And I think that for now, that, what? Oh, do Cliff Jumper since we're already at... All right, you know what? Monica's saying, hey, you know, you got Cliff Jumper. Just go ahead and do Cliff Jumper. So I wasn't sure if we had more for a part 2 or not, but not really. Okay, so we're just going to push through. We're just going to push through, and Dudley is probably going to start clawing the chair. So let us go ahead, and we will do Cliff Jumper. He's Cliff Jumper. He's the guy who seems to get killed a lot. So here we have Cliff Jumper. Cliff Jumper is, what was he a 2010? He looks like a 2010. And he is pretty close to a straight up repaint of Bumblebee. He's got a Cliff Jumper head. That's it. You notice that his vehicle mode is done in that 2010 design with the much shinier plastic, the neat pin lines that have been painted in, some very cool translucents, and he doesn't specifically indicate that he has a passenger compartment. Once again, he's like a little vehicle, and you know, I guess if the black is windows, then sure, somebody could be riding inside that. But at the same time, not necessarily. He's just he's a computer mouse. He transforms into a computer mouse. I just want to click him, and here, wait, let's just, you know, I'm going to try and control the live stream. Thank you. Wait, here, let me do it. Oh, yeah, it's... So, you know, I do like... Thank you for that. I like this vehicle mode. Like, I think that this vehicle mode is cool. I'm shocked to discover that I don't have the Bumblebee version. I thought for sure that I had the Bumblebee version, but I don't have the Bumblebee version. And that I don't know how I don't have the Bumblebee version, to be honest, because it seems like that's a no-brainer. But it's such a good-looking vehicle mode. I really like it. He's just like he looks like a Tron vehicle. And I think that's what they're going for. I love the translucent plastic on the wheels. I love the rubbery looking texture. I mean, it's just hard plastic, but they look like they're molded like they've got tread. I love the yellow. I love the black on the red. I mean, it's just a really, really nice looking vehicle mode. And so, of course, he does turn into a robot. That is his job. So let's turn him into a robot. And I was working with him earlier. He's a little bit of a bear. So we're going to pull the fender away from the front here. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side here. We're going to pull, let's see here. There's stuff here. So the feet are pegged into the back, the back portion of the vehicle mode from the underside. And it's a little bit janky. You have to pull it out there. And no, Dawn, I'm not going to break it. I saw your comment. So you dislodge both of those. See, the peg is right here. I'm gonna zoom in on that so that you can see it. So the peg is right there, and then you've got the holes on the underside there, and then same thing on the other side. There's a peg right here and a hole on the other side there. So that's what that whole thing pegs into. And getting all of the panels to line up when you're transforming it into the vehicle mode is a nightmare. It is very fidgety, and if you don't have everything just right, then it will not work. But you know, you can get it just right. You just have to be careful. So this whole thing, you see how it's on. Yes, it's a double jointed linkage, and then we've got this folding around tab here that's going to come up, and the whole thing goes like that, and that's going to there goes there's one of his hands. That's a hand. It's not broken. Let's see, but where did it come from? It came from somewhere. There's a hand missing somewhere. Okay, we'll find out where this goes. All right, so the other thing is that now we have to separate the legs from the arms. So that kind of hooks together right there, and it's fidgety. So let's get that. Come on. We can just... Oh, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull straight down. The leg is this half, the arm is this half. We're going to pull it straight down. There's a tab there, and we just need to pull the tab out of the slot. If we can get the tab out of the slot. I'm going to try this side. Oh, look at that. That side, the tab. See, that's the tab, and that's the slot that it's supposed to come out of. So, you know, that is how it's supposed to go, but you know, sometimes it doesn't want to go. So let's go ahead and get that to, I'm going to rock it a little bit this way. Come on, let go. Please let go. Why won't you let go? The tab is really in there. And of course I do need to be careful because this is a lot of translucent plastic. And it's not new by any stretch of the imagination. So let's get it closer. Maybe there's a little bit of twist or something that's making that hold on more than it should. So, okay, spudger time. Spudger time. Here, we'll just, there we go. See, that is why Dawn got me spudgers. So there we go. We've got that. And now we've got the legs. So the legs slide up right here. This is the lower leg, and then this is the thigh, and it slides up like that. And that slides. Now, understand that in order to get him transformed, when you slide it down, you have to have that all the way down because things will not line up if that's not slid down all the way. We're going to slide it up. And then we take this whole foot assembly, and see the wheel, once you slide that up, will be able to collapse down. And that allows this whole assembly from in here to flip over and cross over onto the other side. And then his foot, he's got a weird foot. Okay, it's like his toe is always pointed up, and it goes around the wheel there. So let me show you that again. We have, normally in vehicle mode, everything is tucked away this way with the foot folded this way, this panel down here, and this whole assembly there, and this leg slid forward. So we're going to slide the leg backwards like this, like that. The wheel is going to go down like that. this whole assembly is going to swing around like this. We take the foot down and put it around the tire, and then we can close that around there, and that makes the lower leg. And now there's a joint right here. We're going to straighten the thigh there, and then bring the thigh down like that, and then we'll do the same thing on the underside, on the other side here. And so that is the lower legs. Like, well, there's not upper legs. There's that's the legs. That's the legs right there. So now the arms are going to be a lot easier. You can see the arms are on this little swivel here. Well, actually, you would be able to see if I had the camera lifted up. So now you can see that the arms are on this swivel here. You can bring the shoulders out this way. And then we take this fender, and ideally it should peg in. There's a little tab right there and a little slot, and that should stick in. It kind of doesn't. And then now we discover where that hand came from. That hand just goes in there. So there, we got the hand back in there. We'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll pull the arm around. You see the shoulder there. It swivels out this way and then comes down here, and you have that whole fender thing that goes up against the hand. And now you've got this whole back apparatus thing here. There's a bunch of back kibble here, and so this is going to fold up and then swing around like that. The head is on this little platform here that's going to click up. That reveals the head. And then you have the body, and then you just close the back against the body. And that is Cliff Jumper. There he is in all of his blurriness. Come on. There he is. And yeah, he's got a very unusual body style. Let's go ahead and bring out the Lazy Susan, the Lazy Cliff Jumper. Oh, he also has a gun stored in the back of his caboose there, so we can give him a gun. So he does have weapons storage. That's cool. And if you don't have the gun, it doesn't detract from the vehicle mode in any way. And there we have him. Oh, and more important than having Cliff Jumper, the Machiavellic is here! Woo! Welcome, Machiavellic! You are just in time to see Transformers Fall of Cybertron Cliff Jumper from the High Moon Studios video game. That good. Do I need to do the toast again? Okay, here we go. A toast to the Machiavellic. That's good. Thank you. All right, so here is Cliff Jumper. I'm gonna turn down the exposure on the camera again because he's looking a little bit washed out. There we go. So there we have Cliff Jumper, and so this is a pretty good representation of what we saw in the video game. However, when you take him into the real world, his body dynamics are weird. He's got really, really scrawny thighs and kind of skinny legs, and then he's just downright bulbous in his up in his body. And it seems like all of this should do something, you know, it should like collapse down or something, but it doesn't. And you know, I mean, it doesn't ruin it, but it does make a lot of car on the back of his body. Let's get him a little closer to the middle here. but his colors are gorgeous. The mold detail is very nice, but he is a weird looking guy. And you see how he's got kind of hunched over shoulders, his body, a lot of the characters from this line have that sort of posture where they have a little bit of a Hulk-like stance. And I don't think that it ruins the toy, but I will say that his robot mode is a little more awkward than it is cool. That being said, it is still cool. Let's go ahead and zoom in here on his crotch, apparently. And I've got the late night sniffles. So there we go. You can see the mold detail on the face. It's actually a really nice sculpt. Like, the head sculpt is very nice. The detail in all of his parts is very crisp. The plastic is shiny. The colors are sharp. He's actually got a lot of very cool details going on. You can see that he's got molded hands that are capable of holding the gun. He's got some really nice translucent bits in this fender and in the wheel. His legs are cool and dynamic. It's just that his proportions are odd, and that's just the way he is. I think that it's kind of a personal preference thing. Like, you might look at this and say, "Oh, I don't like that," and decide, he's just too unusual for your taste. And if that was your take on it, I really wouldn't blame you for saying that. I think that I like it though. Is it my favorite? No, but is it cool and unique? Yeah, I think it is. And I think that there's a lot of room in the Transformers universe for toys that are very different in terms of proportion and design style. And I think that this is a good example of it. So yeah, he's still a cool guy. And obviously if you ever find Bumblebee of the same mold, he's going to be very, very similar, except yellow. And I believe that he has a more Bumblebee looking head. Now that I'm thinking about it, did the Bumblebee actually have a cliff jumper head? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. But yeah, so that is Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron. That is at least what I've got of Fall of Cybertron, War of Cybertron. They not a huge line, and the quality of the toys is all over the place. You have some stuff that's really, really complex, like this, and like this, and then you have other stuff that's like this, and it almost looks like they were made by two completely different companies. It is a very, very inconsistent group of toys from the 2010 era to the 2012 era. And for two video games that were really, really awesome, and I think did a fantastic job of capturing what Transformers is about. It's weird to see how the toys were just kind of, this one's great. Oh, this one's kind of, this one's, that they're just all over the place. So, that's it. If you've enjoyed this live stream, then please hit the thumbs up. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you know when we're doing more live streams like this one, which are typically every Friday night at 8:00 p.m. Eastern United States time. Also, keep your eyes open for our short circuits videos, which are shorter format videos for your viewing pleasure, released periodically through the week. These are standalone videos, mostly reviews of different toys from all sorts of lines, not just Transformers, but Final Faction, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Ninja Turtles, anything that we feel like talking about, we talk about, because that's what we do here on Retrobot. So, also, if you are in a position to help the channel grow, then consider joining our Patreon. We do have different commitment levels with different rewards as our way of saying thank you. Seriously, thank you to everyone who is a patron. We appreciate all the help that we can get. And so, that being said, we've got a special guest somewhere around here. Wait. We're getting our special guest. We've got our special guest. There's special guesting happening, and there's a whole bunch of Transformers on my table. I need to move them out of the way. So, all right. So, speaking of our patrons, here is our special guest, the Chaos Bringer himself, Unicron. Come on out and thank our patrons.
Thank you, patrons, our ultimate retro heroes. Thank you to Fetch Beer, Matt White, Starhound, Setsune Wave, Dawn, Hope and Michael D, Colleen, and a special thank you to Rob S. for joining at the $10 Retro Radical tier. You're awesome. Thank you so much. You're a really cool dude. And when I eat the planet, I promise to save you for last. That's what you get from a dark god of chaos. It's sort of my thing. I destroy planets. And I'm standing by it, you know? That's just how it is.
Okay, so thank you for that dubious honor, Unicron. So, next week, we are spinning the wheel of toys. Join me as I review a bunch of random stuff during our Randonomicon live stream. I think that this theme is just because Monica made up that word. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that we got that. And Monica's saying let's skip toast because we went late and my drink is disgusting. It's how about one big here. Let's do it, but I'm gonna do it the fast way. Here we go. Put up the list. Here we go. This is the list. Because you guys have stuck with this for 3 hours. You deserve a toast to Rob, Dawn, Ty Guy, Colleen, Adventure Mode, Asher and Mike Spicer, Christopher Remley, Connie, Nathan, Lyric and Cadence Fillion, Grayscale, Osaka Jack, Juno Getrum, Tim Kangaroo, T-Fan Page 101, Toa of Ultimate Doom, and the Machiavellic. A toast to all of you and a thank you for joining me tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. A toast. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much again. This is Clay, and you're doing nothing. When he is out, he is out. All right. So this is me. And on his behalf, telling you to keep it Retrobot! Oh yeah. Well, that was really not. You know, you'd really think that like the chocolatey residue with water would just be like a yoo-hoo. It's really not. It's not like a yoo-hoo. It's not like a yoo-hoo at all. It's gross.